and say, we want to go through all of your documents. We want to download all your computer hard drives, simply because we submitted something called a request to examine. So I'm very, very gratified that it's putting a hold to that, and then also it's raising the question about, is there a political agenda in this? And that's particularly concerning to me, because we have to have institutions in our society that are credible to the vast majority of the people of Texas. We have to have institutions. The court system is one of those institutions. And we have to believe that the courts, the judicial system, would not be used for political reasons. And I believe that Annunciation House is caught in the crosshairs of a political goal on the part of the Texas Attorney General.
How worried were you that this could stop all the work that you've done in this community?
Very worried, and I want you to know, as you might imagine, I have received an incredible number of phone calls from many other organizations, other nonprofits, trying to understand what are they trying to do, and most importantly, why. To look at the work of Annunciation House and to use phrases like we're smuggling, that we're trafficking, that these are stash houses, to use that kind of language is a very upsetting, disconcerting language that many other nonprofits, many other organizations that are doing this work all along the border between Texas and Mexico, it was astonishing that we would find ourselves. And in that sense, we realize that Annunciation House is probably the example that the Attorney General wants to use. You know, if we can go to Annunciation House and be successful there, then we're going to be successful with many other entities. And this is a faith-based work response. People are responding out of their own sense of faith and what they believe as human beings that they're called to do, which is fundamentally basic: to welcome the stranger. To welcome the stranger, give them a place to sleep, give them food to eat, a place to clean up. How could someone want to stop that, to bring an end to that?
And like you said, a victory over you would have allowed the state to basically enter into any nonprofit, any business, and demand whatever they wanted, correct?
Especially if I have a different political perspective on the issue, you know, that I can use the courts to enforce my political perspective. Yes.
And so can you go over again, what is the next step in this situation?
The next step right now is open-ended. Right now, what the judge's ruling does is it basically puts a halt. This halts the demand from the Attorney General, and it says, as we proceed, we are now going to proceed according to the rules of evidence in a lawsuit. We're going to follow that. And that means that from this point on, everything's going to go before the judge, and the judge is going to rule on the admissibility, the constitutionality of the requests that are being made. And so what the response of the Attorney General is going to be, I don't know. There is no next court date. That's open-ended. And the judge is saying when there is a next one. So I think it depends on the response of the Attorney General.
And then how would you describe how Annunciation House has been lately with this situation going on? Are you guys dwindling in numbers, or are you guys higher in numbers than ever? Is it no change?
Well, you have to remember that one of the roles that Annunciation House has is we we receive the notices of the refugees that are being released by Border Patrol or ICE or detention facilities. They let us know how many are being released, and we work primarily with the family units, not 100%, but very, very high percentage. So the numbers are connected to the release numbers that are coming from Border Patrol. The county of El Paso, which runs the Migrant Support Service Center on here in El Paso, they receive the vast majority of the single adults, of which there are also significant numbers. So the work of Annunciation House, and I think that this is the concern of local elected officials, the mayor, the county judge, et cetera, that they have to be able to depend on the NGO network to help receive these families. Otherwise, are they going to go into the street? And that's what we all want to avoid. We all want. So fortunately, our hospitality sites are functioning. The network is functioning. Today, Border Patrol released 300 family members. The port of entry between the morning and afternoon arrivals is probably going to be another 200 refugees that will be coming in. You're talking about 500 family units. The county is probably going to receive 150. This is on a daily basis. So your entire network it's critical that it be functioning. And we're very grateful that it continues to function, and we hope that it will continue to function into the future.
And with this recent ruling by the judge, would you say this is a win for Annunciation House?
It's a win in the sense that it puts a halt. It stops it. It stops it and it says, going forward, we're now going to go forward under these rules of evidence, et cetera. And that permits our attorneys to respond step by step. It also permits the opportunity to question the request and ask for the constitutionality of the request. So, and that's very important.
Is there anything else you would like to say about this?
No, just thank you very much for coming this morning, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.